kama panya imeshikwa na mtego.
Welcome to the Dirty Edition.
News Gang every Thursday at 9 p.m. Don't miss it.
Stand by. And welcome back to Jeff Greenhanger Live here at Citizen Television. Interesting conversation here about the future of ODM, folks. One of the oldest parties that's 20 plus years old, and looks like they're running into headwinds. But if you ask Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Sharif if this is the case, because he's one of 3 deputy party leaders, he says no, as does the party chairperson, Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga. They say everything is cool, but you know, some people say you're in denial. And denial is not a river in Egypt.
Jeff, I've told you, we've lost our leader. And there was bound to be the shakiness. But we pulled in quickly. We got a new party leader, whom we will be ratifying on Friday, inshallah. We have consolidated. Actually, out of our MPs base, of about 109 MPs, you count very few who have decided that they want to take a different path. Maybe 5, maybe 6. 100 plus remain solid. These are leaders, Jeff. These are leaders. These are leaders who are elected, who've made that decision. ODM has 15 governors. 1 has decided to take a different path. These are heads of government. And therefore, when you say the orange is split down the middle, Jeff, we would hope that all of us would walk the same journey. But as it is today, you know, a few of us have decided that they want to take, you know, a path that is different. And therefore, that is their right. But the majority of the party, including, Jeff, we've just, Abdul Samad has come in from Mombasa, but I've just come from meeting our county party chairs. 42 of them sitting there, you know, discussing with us the future of the party. So, I mean, when a few people are dissenting, it doesn't count for the party splitting in the middle. I think the media should be fair to the ODM party.
Are we blowing it out of proportion?
Completely out of proportion.
No, we're worried you're going to run out of breath. You know, I'm seriously concerned about you. You're going to run out of breath.
Completely out of proportion, yes. And making a situation that, because where do the 100 plus leaders who are members of the parliamentary group, where do they count? Where do the MCAs in their hundreds, you know, 500 of them, maybe 5, maybe 10 are dissenting? Where do the 14 out of all governors, where do the 42 out of 47 maybe county chairpersons, how does that count for a split?
But let me ask you this, the crowds that Sifuna and Babu are drawing,
but crowds,
in Kitengela, in Kakamega,
are those ODM members? Are the people in Kitengela?
Wait a minute.
Jeff, are they ODM members?
I want to rephrase, I want to get this straight as well. Some of the last elections, we saw people coming up with crowds all over. Doesn't necessarily mean that you actually were able to get any votes in that area.
You're saying it's not translating?
No. Not
Jeff, today if you shout one term and go to the middle of somewhere here, you know, inside, you'll get a very, very big crowd. But is that the ODM base? Are those the ODM members? That's a question. We are dealing with ODM members and their aspirations and their vision and the foundation that Baba built us with. And Jeff, let me tell you something, because I think it is important that our viewers understand what's in contention here. What's in contention is simple. It is whether we agree, as the way the party has agreed, that we engage with like-minded parties, starting with UDA, and then moving on, if we don't agree, moving on to other parties and maybe even going it alone. That is one. So this broad-based government, whether we support it or we don't, this is the bone of contention. But Jeff, we also must be very honest with the public here. In 2024, Abdul, when we had the Gen Z protests. And the president came out and said, look, I am looking to forming a broader base of government, and I'm looking at political parties who want to participate. ODM came forward. We were in the Central Committee.
Yeah.
The statement was read by our Sifuna. He's the one who read the statement that, yes, we are ready to work with the government to stabilize the country, and we mandate our party leader, then Raila Odinga, to do so. That was what happened.
Yes.
Then we sent our deputy party leaders, Oparanya and Joho. They were not members of the party. They were the senior most officials of the party. We sent them to the government. Then we had our chairman of the party, John Badi. We sent them. Then we had our minority leader in the National Assembly. These were the senior most people. And therefore, we willingly, as a party, agreed to participate as part of the broad-based government.
So
Well, let me also add something else. On that day, Baba handpicked those who are going to actually draft that document. There was Gladys. We were literally handpicked. Gladys, there was Sifuna, there was Professor Nyang'nyong, there was myself, and then there was Baba's lawyer, Paul Mwangi. Paul Mwangi.
Yes.
He was there.
Yep.
We actually, the office that we used actually was Sifuna's office. So even when we were drafting this thing, you know, all the things that we actually did and did everything else, the level of trust that Baba had on us, when we brought that document down, he actually asked us, are you guys content? Are you satisfied? Is everything okay? We told him, yes, we are very, very okay with it. And, you know, a year has passed since that document has been able to be to be signed. I got a lot of people saying, and this is something that I really failed to understand. People said that, you know, you can't even extend this document by even an inch because the person who wrote this document is actually in Bondo. And my argument is very simple. They're only, in my version, only religious books that cannot be amended. But even the Constitution is a living document.
Yep.
Because we live at times where things are going to be able to happen. Some things are going to be able to move faster. Some things are going to be able to move a bit slower. This was a scorecard. Where have we been able to reach? We had our teams that were actually chosen by Baba, not by me, not by Gladys, not by anyone, handpicked by Baba to go into the technical committee and work on all these particular
So let me
issues.
ask the question then. Are you guys disappointed in what Sifuna has become since he was part of the drafter?
No. I can't say that I'm disappointed because, look, do you know, in other words, people say that you need to have, emotions and everything else are placed on your heart. But the truth is, emotions are placed in your brain. If you are going to react to every single person who does everything out there, then you're gonna go bonkers. At the end of the day, you need to be able to be in acceptance that just because someone else is not satisfied with the majority of a decision, the problem could not be you.
Governor, do you agree?
Jeff, I'd like to say that on many occasions when we had meetings, and I think all of us were there, Baba always spoke about the principle of when you're a Secretary General, when do you speak for yourself and when do you speak for the party? And that was always a very thin line. And Baba always said to Sifuna, being a Secretary General means many times you lose your own voice. You speak the voice of the party because knowing the difference is difficult. And I think this is where we have failed to agree because, you know, when you have a central committee or a NEC of 50 members and 47 members out of the 50 agree on a position, that position of the party must be advanced. I think what is sad is the fact that Baba taught us the principle of honesty, you know, integrity as we move forward. Party discipline was a key principle for him. And the point I was trying to make is, I think it is important that we are honest. We put all our cards on the table. So when we agreed that we are in the broad-based government until 2027, what went wrong with that? Why is the broad-based government suddenly so bad that it is now, it is something we cannot follow? When we agreed for our people to get in there. So I think what I was calling for is just we be honest, we be upfront, because it is very easy to be populist. It is very easy to say, this is wrong, that is bad, that is this, that is that, and not tell Kenyans what is your own role in this entire process.
Are you going to have any expulsions following your NDC?
Expulsions in the party are guided by the Constitution. So there are processes ahead of expulsions. And expulsions are a mandate of NEC after the disciplinary committee. So SDC does not conduct expulsions, Jeff. We are a party of structures. We are a party of institutions. We are a party that is institutionalized. So when you want to conduct an expulsion, the NEC will do what we did with Sifuna, for example, and then say we have removed you. And then you utajitetea. And then we will go ahead according to those structures and remove you.
He insists he's still Secretary General. Because
the courts have stayed that decision. We are a law-abiding party. While we are moving on with our Deputy Secretary General, we also agree that this is what the court has ruled, and we will go by that. The ruling, Jeff, is tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be guided by the party's tribunal on, what next. But we are a law and order party, so we cannot go against court decision.
Governor, this echoes of Ford back in the day. And you were much younger then, 1994, when Ford broke up, or was separated, or was divided by then President Daniel Arap Moi, and became Ford Kenya and Ford Asili. This is what...
Ford is not ODM. Ford is not ODM. We're going to repeat it again. Ford is not ODM. Ford was not ODM. If at all it still exists, it was not ODM.
And Jeff, there's no comparison.
There's no other party that is going to be ODM.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to repeat this again, Jeff. Read my lips. We're not dissolving this party. Read my lips again. We are not going to be doing anything, because this is the only party in the country, probably in the region, that has the highest level of membership all the way to polling station deep down into the veins of Kenyans. This is the party that stood for devolution. This is the party that has been there through everything else. When Baba, and this is a party that has actually taught people the art of leadership, the art of politics in this country. It is Baba who came up at Uhuru Park and once said, Kibaki tosha. He did not say that I have to be the president of this country. It is Baba through each and every one. This is a party that actually believes in politics of talking. And the reason why, and I want to state this very clearly as well, Jeff, there's a reason why ODM is on the table. Because we are worthy of being on the table. And if you're not sitting on the table, you're part of the menu.
You're part of the food.
Exactly.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why then is Baba's very close friend, Siaya Governor James Orengo, why is he siding with Sifuna and Babu and Young Winnie and all these people? What's going on?
I think Orengo is making his, his choices based on whatever he's thinking at the moment. And if you remember when we had the Ford Kenya meeting in Thika, Orengo never went with Raila.
Yes.
He went in the opposite direction. And this is history repeating itself. Oburu is here, and he hasn't gone with Oburu. He's gone in the opposite direction. So it's historical also, Jeff. So I think, and I think remove Winnie from there, because Winnie is in the party. She's strong there. So I think Orengo's case is a historical case that we have followed. It's for students of history to study when the time comes. Because you remember, even when we went with LDP, Orengo ran. He even ran for president. When we were supporting Kibaki, He's gone in the opposite direction.
So what are you saying? He's inconsistent?
No. He's probably consistent in his actions, the way he went against Raila, the way he's gone against Oburu, and it's the way he ran on his own when the rest of us went with Raila during that time. So it's not a new phenomenon.
By the way, there's talk that Winnie may want to be deputy party leader as well. You've heard. Are you going to support?
Yeah, she qualifies. Yeah, I think she qualifies.
There's a proposition that has been done by the delegates in Nairobi. This particular delegates conference that we're doing, convention that we're doing, is a special. It's been published that this and this that needs to be done. However, the same way we got into office, a proposal can be able to come in, and a proposal once we have our party leader getting the ratification. It is something that can definitely, I mean, she has a future in politics. I said this at Baba's funeral as well, by all means. But I want to take you back. You asked us about an individual who was Baba's friend.
Yes.
Who Baba's friend, or perceived to be Baba's friend as well. I want to ask you as well this question, Jeff. No, it's true. A coin has two sides. A coin has two sides. Gladys as well. Baba considered her as her daughter, as his daughter. Baba called me his son. Might not be biological, but he's held me throughout, you know.
Yeah, what's your point?
The point is very simple. Why would you make reference to one individual and leave out all the other governors who are on ODM?
Because James Orengo was very close to Raila even during the struggle. They were always Kamkunji, being beaten, being detained. They were always so tight.
Is there closer than someone who came out from the same womb?
Oburu Oginga.
Is there someone closer than someone who came from the same womb? Please tell me.
But
an infant's first place of comfort was the womb. You talked to us about someone being very, very close.
Yes.
Is there someone closer?
Don't forget that liberation in 1991. Remember these guys in pickups and being arrested and back and forth. They were tight.
It's not just him alone.
What about when it mattered most?
And what about the times when he actually forgot that they were once tight?
What about when it mattered most?
When was that?
This is a party. Maybe Gladys. Let's
that time.
Let's do one thing.
Yeah.
This is a party that is not going to talk about individuals. This is a party that is going to talk about matters. This is a party that is going to talk about the future of this country. We are going to be on that table. At that table, we are going to be asking for what is rightfully belonging to ODM. What is it that we bring on the table? We know that there are people out there who wish for us to be weakened. We know there are people out there who are going they're literally going out of their way to try and burn this house down. All right? But at the end of the day, you do not burn a house that is made of ice by using extra ice.
So let me ask you.
This is not gonna. We've survived everything else. What else is there?
Okay,
Rumors.
Let me ask you this. Do you want your party leader to be the next deputy president? Is that what you want? Is that part of your bargaining chip?
Our party leader is our presidential candidate, according to our constitution. So he remains the leader of the party. And the decisions in terms of who becomes, deputy president or these other decisions, they're decisions that are made by organs of the party. And the NDC that I told you about makes that decision. So if we come ahead now and speak to it, it's putting the cart ahead of the horse. At the right time, the constitutional bodies within the party will make that decision.
But you have an NDC in 48 hours.
That's a special delegates convention with a specific agenda. These decisions will be made later next year.
Yeah, but you're part of broad-based and you want a piece of that pie. You want half the cup in Mkatanusu.
No, it's not about mkate nusu.
Munataka power. Power. Na hata hamuna DJ na munataka power.
Tuko na DJ kali sana. Ai. Utamwona Friday.
Atakuwa noma.
Aya, noma vibaya. Ni mbaya.
We might not have a DJ, but we have the soul.
You have the soul.
We have the soul and we have the music.
But you're
Keep
also
the DJ,
bargaining
you
for
can
this
never be able
thing.
to
Nusu mkate, something.
And by the way, let me state this. We've said that when we sit on the negotiating table, as ODM, we come in as equal partners. We're not minors. Let me rephrase this. We're not minors. So when we
It's
go
50-50.
when we go and sit, we're saying that the first thing that we're after is the deputy president as ODM. Then thereafter, internally, we're going to sit down. I'm going to have my views as to who. I mean, I've been out open that I feel that it should be Hassan. There have been others. I know you're going to ask Gladys that question, so I'm going to help you.
I am.
There have been others who've also said that Gladys, deserves to be the deputy president of this country.
Yep.
Whoever it is, as long as from ODM.
It has to be. Governor, would you take it if they offered that to you as deputy president?
Jeff, I'm governor of Homa Bay, and I hope the people of Homa Bay can re-elect me as their governor. So I think it's presumptuous to begin that conversation. Now, as I told you, this party is vibrant, it's institutionalized,
Exactly.
It has organs. Those organs will make the decision. First things first. For now to speak about it, it's presumptuous. I have a seat I'm sitting on for whose re-election I'm
She's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Very good job.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you guys have an NDC on Friday. Who's funding it? Where are you getting the money from? Sifuna hasn't signed a check in months.
So let me clarify this.
What, this Linda ground thing? Who's lendering this ground?
Gladys, go ahead. I'm so tempted to say something.
Let me say this. Do you know that there is a political party funding in this country?
Yes.
Money that is given to political parties. And ODM is entitled to the second largest share. And therefore, we have money. We have money
Yes.
as a party.
But you have
to
signatories
And
who
let me-
have not signed.
Oh, let me give you the news, Jeff. Sifuna is a signatory, but not a mandatory signatory. The only person who's a mandatory signatory to the ODM account is the treasurer, Timothy Bosire. So if Timothy Bosire tells you I didn't sign a check, it makes sense because he has to sign each and every check. But once Bosire signs the check, the finance director can sign that. There are 7 signatories, including Agnes Zani, including Betsengo, so any 3 of them can sign a check and proceed
So you don't need
with
Sifuna's
activities
signature?
of the party because he is not a mandatory signatory. So the fact that he did not sign a check does not mean that the party did not fund that activity. That's a fallacy that has been moving, and it's good for us to clarify it. And remember, Jeff, ODM has been having NDCs for 20 years. You know, we've been on for 20 years. We've been having functions for all these 20 years. I mean, nobody ever questions, you know, because we are a party and we are funded from the exchequer. On the other hand, what we were asking you, that house near Gate D,
Yes.
hapo,
Eh.
hapo nyumba, unapita Gate D kidogo, unaenda hapo mbele.
Rephrase it. He asked it.
Yeah, he asked
it.
He asked that, are we getting it from near Gate D?
Yes.
The people getting it from near Gate D they are the group.
How do you know?
I know for sure. We know, kuna
How do you know?
intel. Hapo.
Let me ask this as
It
well.
is for sure. Hapo, unapita Gate D kidogo.
Yeah.
That's where their money is coming from.
Hapo.
That house of your cousin. There. That's where it comes from.
Gladys, let me ask this question. How many elections has ODM had?
Since 05?
How many elections have we had?
Very
I
many.
mean, it's very unfortunate we've had elections that have been stolen left, right, and centre. But at the end of the day, how many elections has ODM been able to participate in?
Let's say the last 20 years.
That's
05,
presidential.
07.
Then you've got the last 2 cycles or 3 cycles now for under the new constitution. That means we've got people who've been able to vie from governor position, senator position, women rep, member of parliament, MCA, and everywhere that we go, there are definitely going to be rallies. There's definitely going to be all this. If you're going to account The question that you need to ask yourself, and you need to ask us this question, is how did we manage the goodwill of Kenyans being able to participate in this party? You shouldn't be asking about who's financing one rally that you see of Linda Ground or anything else. The question you need to ask yourself is, how did we manage?
You managed
good 20 years.
You managed
not
because
1 year,
you had
not
Baba,
2 years,
and you don't
not
have
3 years,
Baba anymore.
and we're still managing.
You're not.
You just asked us.
You're losing your grip.
You just asked us how we're able to do the Linda Ground. You just asked us how are we able to do the ODM at 20. You just asked us how we're able to do the delegates. We're doing it in Minsk. And wherever Baba is, he's truly going to be.
You think he's smiling, or you think
he's truly smiling?
Or is he spinning in his grave?
Deep in my heart, I know for a fact. I slept from. I'm going to sleep well from JKL Live today, knowing that I've talked to the millions of Kenyans out there, content that Baba is satisfied that he left people who are going to be vibrant enough to sit on the table, because even in his absence, he made a party that was going to be worthy for people to be able to sit on the table and determine the destiny of this country.
Governors, we're going to take another break now, come back. We'll get a lot of feedback from folks out there. We'll get their reactions. And also, hey man, you know, Sifuna and his crowd, they might storm your party. They might come and piss on your parade. And another Men in Black moment.
Haiwezekani.
Nakumbuka?
Haiwezekani.
Haiwezekani.
If they come Men in Black, we got a Lady in Pink.
Haiwezekani.
Pretty in pink. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff, Assistant TV Kenya, hashtag JK Live. JK Live takes a break. We'll be back. Plenty more in a moment.
For reactions like this, you need something special. That one extra touch that makes everybody go wow. For meals with friends and family, make it memorable with Kiko Man.
Wacha kubahatisha, anza kuwin. Form mpya imefika. Hii form ni cheza cheza. Una bundles, una smartphone, usiwori. Dial *770# sahi. Na cheza cheza huchezi hard, unacheza smart. Tuko na AI system inafanya hiyo kazi ngumu for you. Chagua quick bet, single bet ama multi bet. Weka stake yako na wacha system ikupatie win yako. Games ikiingiana, wallet inanona instantly. Cheza cheza leo. Decide how much you want to win. Dial *770# now. Usi stress. Cheza cheza. Not for persons under the age of 18. Gambling can be addictive. Cheza Cheza is authorized and regulated by BCLB under license number BK 0000856.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
Enjoy Winner Vegetable Oil 5 liters at 1,119 shillings. Assorted Pampers diapers at 1,599 shillings. Assorted Contigo water bottle at 1,424 shillings. And Von Cooker at 34,995 shillings.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
Our bodies get serums and washes, but underarms only get deodorant. That's why our new breakthrough formula has pure hyaluron and vitamin C to deeply care for your underarms for soft and even skin tone in 2 weeks. With 72-hour sweat and odor protection, try the new Nivea Derma Control range because your underarms deserve more. Nivea is for skin.
Wherever you are, we're all part of the same story. We are Broadway's.
Broadway's bread, a heritage of quality, baked with heart since 1958.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Thika Road ni zamu yenu sasa.
Pambazuka!
Jumapili tarehe 29 Machi, Radio Citizen inakuja kushiriki ibada nawe
katika kanisa la Pefa Thika Road Cathedral chini ya Bishop Professor John Okinda.
Ibada itaanza saa 3:30 asubuhi. Atakuwepo Tina Ogal,
Uncle Bensu,
Mie Sami Mbeyu,
Mkala wa Momboze na Melody Sinzore.
Pefa Thika Road Cathedral iko Zimmerman opposite Clay next to Car Wash Footbridge.
Kumbuka, ibada ya Pambazuka Gospel Church itafanyika live kanisani. Njoo tushiriki pamoja.
My family is very traumatized.
Familia yake wanasema amepotea.
Wanaenda kumwambia tujuenda jifiche kwa bedroom yako, alafu enda sema ati umekuwa abducted.
It is a question of who said what.
Tuju needs honest friends.
Yeye sasa jitokeze hawe rafiki ya kweli.
He doesn't need scavengers.
Wacha sisi tuwe mascavenger.
What goes through their minds?
Ng'ombe yake ilikufa kwa sababu ya kupe.
Wewe ulikuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, umeteremuka. Umekuwa mtu ya gossip.
Anything goes when it comes to politics.
Hiyo kikundi inaitwa useless opposition.
Umeanza vita na ile watu wako na mwili kubwa.
Kuna watu saizi yangu pale.
I do not see how this helps any team.
Nitawamalizia asubuhi na mapema.
Analia kama panya imeshikwa na mtego.
Welcome to the Dirty Edition.
News Gang every Thursday at 9 p.m. Don't miss it.
Welcome back to Jeff Kananga live here at Citizen Television. On the bench today, Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga, chairperson of ODM, and also Mombasa County 001 Governor Abdul Samad Sharif. He's one of 3 deputy party leaders of ODM. We'll talk about that NDC, National Delegates Conference they're having in 48 hours. That's Friday the 27th. What's going to happen? Is ODM still intact, or is the orange about to become orange juice? So we're talking before the break, folks. This broad-based thing, what wanasema ati munalinda tumbo.
Allah. Jeff, first of all, let me say on the NDC that we have on Friday, we will have a good NDC. We will have a peaceful NDC. Hakuna mtu is going to rain on the parade. All arrangements are in place. Members will come in peace and will come in, will come to achieve the objectives of the party. Every member of goodwill. So let me assure our members, wherever they are, that on Friday we will have a good NDC, a colorful NDC, a happy NDC, a celebratory NDC.
No men in black?
No men in black, no need for that. We will remember Baba as we forge forward. So it's a great NDC, Jeff. Wale watu naongea, hakuna kitu kama hiyo inaweza kufanyika.
Na wakikosa kuja?
I mean, when you invite 3,000 people to a party, somebody can decide they're selling mitumba in Gikomba that day. The party goes on, Jeff. Somebody can decide leo ni siku ya soko wapi, najipanga huko. The party goes on, Jeff. So the NDC will proceed, because notice has been given to everybody. Jeff, this issue of Linda Tumbo, when we formed the broad-based arrangement, first, it was for purposes of stabilizing this country. Second, we had the MOU, the 10-point agenda, for which we've made a lot of progress, Jeff. We have secured funds for compensation of victims, of post-election violence. Jeff, across the continent, no country has been successful in making compensation to victims. Even Desmond Tutu tried, what have you. These things go around and they never happen. If this happens, it's historic because we have money in the budget. Secondly, Jeff, there are things that this country was balkanized. There are people who believed, and still believe, by the way, that they are parts of this country, like the coast, like the northeastern, like Nyanza, that should not receive, like Western, that should not receive anything. Jeff, the other day, we were in Kisumu, and the SGR has left Mombasa, came to Suswa, and has now left Suswa, coming to Kisumu and on to Malaba. No mean feat. if you look at the development projects that are running, the piers, the fish landing sites along the lake region, the possibility of having the 500-kilometer Lake Victoria Ring Road, the airport being developed in Kakamega, for example, the level 6 hospital there, things that we only ever thought of. If you go to Wajir, look at the kind of progress, the roads that are going on in the northeastern part. And I think the broad-based government has brought some level of equity. And you can see people are annoyed, Jeff. They are seething. People who thought that this should not happen, that Kenya should not, Kenya should not make progress together. And I think Waswahili say, you and me, we don't know Kiswahili. Lakini we are lucky to have Abdul Samad.
Yes.
Mugala muue.
Haki yake
Ni mugala ama mgala?
Mgala muue.
Lakini haki yake mpe. And that is the president and the broad-based government. You could kill him for whatever you want, maybe his ears or whatever it is, that story.
Yes.
But in terms of making each part of this country feel as part of Kenya, I think for ODM strongholds that, we've been in opposition for 20 years, Jeff. We've been in opposition. Tunakaa kwa barabara, tunangoja sufuria nini. And many times we didn't think we would, we looked at the budget from a distance. Kenya took debts, loans, but we paid those loans, but we never participated.
Lakini sasa mko ndani.
Tuko ndani.
Na hamutatoka.
Aye.
To go where?
Where to?
To go where?
Where to?
Jeff, what the conversation should be about. What is the first thing that we actually insisted on?
In the MOU?
The people need to be compensated. A special team was put into place.
Yeah.
Some person, for whatever reason, who I'm assuming was not amongst the people who actually lost a loved one, who was injured in one way or the other, went to court. But you know where I actually felt, and I was really, really wishing and hoping that the media would be able to amplify this. Not amplify it for the purposes of glorifying an individual, but amplifying it for the purposes of actually getting this message to the people who actually matter. People who literally lost lives. People whose lives were shattered because their loved ones were not there. This was part of that particular struggle. Gladys has been tear-gassed. I have been tear-gassed enough times. Baba's vehicle was literally shot at. And despite everything else, this is an individual who taught us, who literally taught us, despite everything else, country comes first. And when he did that, there were people out there who use similar platforms that I am seated, and probably the same bench that I am seated on and Gladys is seated on right now, who accused Baba that he's sold out.
Yeah.
People who were seated right here, who accused Baba that he's sold out, and that he's sold out the party, and that he's sold out the beliefs of this party. And when Baba stood firm and said that, you know what, nothing is going to happen until we have compensation for victims. It was the ODM party, through a central committee resolution, that actually made a decision that in the absence of that committee that was put into place, this funding should go to the Kenya National Commission for Human Rights. Today, that money has been made available. Today, the Kenya National Commission for Human Rights has already put an advert out there asking people for them to be able to go forward. Those are the ODM people that we fight for.
But let's not forget, those were state-sanctioned killings.
Those are the ODM people that we fight for.
Those were state-sanctioned killings.
Mind you, Jeff, the compensation is not going to start from the time when William Samoei Ruto became president. Compensation started from way back, including times where some people today are calling themselves that they were in the opposition, including times when they were in power and they had the button to do whatever needed to be able to be done. But unfortunately, the button that they pressed caused the death of our members, caused livelihoods to go down. Why aren't we amplifying these issues? Why aren't these issues being talked about? Here we are talking about an individual, you know, that an individual wants to go. An individual can be able to go. I always say this, if anything happens to me, I can guarantee you, at my burial, at Gladys's burial, people will already be talking about who's going to be the next governor. So individuals will be able to move and go, but principles stay. And that is what this party is built on.
Okay, my good friend Maina Kageni is saying, you know, you guys come here and you're speaking very calmly and convincingly, right?
Yeah.
When you go out there in rallies, you're insulting each other. I mean, what is this? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? What is this? You know, you guys, you know, what's the deal?
Where did it start raining? When did it start raining? Do you know, in politics, and I say this, and I've talked to Gladys about this as well, and I talked to my colleagues as well about this. When you see people, this is something that I was taught by my late father. When you see people talking about you, never get worried. When you see no one talking about you, start getting worried. It is always the tree laden with fruit that is always stoned.
Yeah.
Today I'm told people went to some, I don't want to mention their names.
Go on,
you know, because I don't want to get some form of seasickness and nausea by just even mentioning their names. But people out there,
yes.
People literally out there, Jeff, every single time that they talk, they have to mention about ODM. Gladys, Abdul Swamad, Hassan Ali Jo. I can assure you one thing, if they talked about themselves, no one would be listening. That's why they have to talk about us.
Yeah, I think, Jeff, there are people who've built their political foundation on insults and division and ethnic hatred, and Jeff, even when Baba died, you know, they said Mungu ni nani, you know, dancing on the graves of the dead, you know, and when, you know, when a small rebuttal is made, all hell breaks loose. Yet the entire foundation of their politics is on ethnic hatred. And they keep talking about ODM. And me, I've told them, wachana na ODM, bana. Wachana na ODM, you know. I saw Shagwa tonight, so I think he was on Ramogi, advising, you know, ODM. And me, I've told him many times, we know
What's his name?
I don't want to say the common one.
Yeah, the truthful men.
You know,
the truthful men.
Far from truth, you know.
Truth to what?
You know, he propagates hatred. He's been so unhappy, you know, and he's said publicly how why should any development go to some parts of this country, you know, and he's very angry about it. And today he goes and purports to advise ODM. Give us a break. You have a village party there. Take care of it. Give us a break. On ODM, we will manage our politics. We have done for 20 years.
Are you going to survive?
Gladys, I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, it's kind of like taking us back, but I want to say one thing. There's what is called popularism, there's what is called perception, and then there's what is the truth on the ground. How many by-elections have we had?
Since when? 22?
Since the
22. Since 22.
More than 7.
How many by-elections have we had?
More than 7.
Good.
We had 7, and then we had 4, 11.
Good. Now, there are people who went out, the same people, you know, you're telling me about crowds and everything else. There are people who went out. People went to Malava. Who won the elections?
ODM.
No, Malava was
UDM.
the UDA. Who won the election in Northeastern? What is Banisa?
Banisa.
Who won the elections in Magarini?
That's right.
Who won the elections at the heart of what they felt was theirs, where they actually are able to pull the crowds?
Very not.
I take it you have a point here somewhere.
And the point is very simple. You can be able to talk about something else. You can be able to perceive something else. But do you know what some of these guys remind me of? You know, the adverts that you show on the TV, the food adverts, that's nothing else but, you know, all these things that have been sprayed and everything else. You try and cut that into half, you're eating poison. This is what some of these people are. It's not the truth of the matter.
20 years from now, you guys still be around? Not you physically, but ODM? You still think ODM will be around?
We'll build foundations for that. We'll build on the foundations that Baba has left, and hopefully in 20 years, ODM will stand strong, maybe not in the current form, but in a form, especially as far as the principles that Baba stood for and the principles that we have stood for are concerned. We are hoping that there will be the Raila Odinga Academy of Leadership so that people continue to train on the values that Baba left behind.
How will that foundation look like when new people have been given direct nominations? How does that, I mean, hold on. Where's the democracy there?
Which direct nominations?
2022.
By the way, you know, our constitution, our party, believes in internal democracy. And one of the things that are actually you know, it's preferred, the preferred method is people to be able to sit down. The first thing that we do is a consensus. You sit down, reason out, this is a candidate, this is his flaws, this is his strength. 2, do we do polls? 3, it's not possible for us to be able to agree to any of this, then yes, we go for nominations. You know?
Yeah.
So all these methods are provided for in the Constitution, Jeff. So direct nomination is not a sin. It is provided for in the Constitution. For example, if you're a single candidate, you're given a nomination.
Yes,
or
that's obvious.
if you build consensus, you know, you can say, for us to run this seat, Abdul, you go for MP, let Wanga go for governor. You know, that is consensus. It encourages internal democracy, but then also the party has conducted mostly, these other methods are the minority. Mostly it is universal suffrage by party members.
Okay, I remember Nyonyi going for governor in Nairobi and he was told to his face, leave it to Sakaja. You will go the next time.
No, it was to this other...
Oh, was it Polycarp? Was it Polycarp? Yeah, sorry.
To Igade.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, and that was part of coalition discussions, and that is also bound to happen because when you're building coalitions, sometimes there's give and take. You know,
negotiated democracy.
Negotiated democracy.
Okay, I agree. Sometimes there are mistakes made, right?
Sometimes you realize those mistakes also after the election, and you learn from them and improve on them next time.
And by the way, sometimes what you call a mistake, equally, sometimes is goodness as well. In a negotiated democracy, where you have something that is bigger, that can be able to harm. You know, it's like making a decision. If a child is afraid of the thunders and the monsters, and you have an option of closing the door or the window, you have to be able to make a decision. Or do you sleep with the child? Or do you tell the child, you know, cool down? This is what it is all about. It's all about negotiated democracy.
Okay, have you guys tried to negotiate with Sifuna and Babu and company? Have you tried to talk to them?
Like I said, this is not a party about individuals. This is a party about the masses. It's not even about Gladys or Abdul Samad Sharif Nasir or Dr. Oburu Odinga or Simba Arati or any of the other members who are in the Central Committee to talk to individuals. It is about the fact that and no one, how many Central Committees were there when we called in, when people decided not to be able to come? Purposely decided not to come. How many Central Committees were there? And let me say this one thing as well. When Dr. Oburu Odinga, the truth needs to be able to come out. There's what is popular and all this popularism that is out there. But when the day Baba died, I was in South Africa. The first call that I made was to Gladys. And when she was in tears, I couldn't hold it anymore. And you know, I just put the phone down and I rushed to the airport. I had just arrived into South Africa. I just rushed to the airport, got the next flight, came back. And I sat down with Gladys and said, Gladys, you know what? Seeing every single person out here, this party is going to go into disarray if we don't say that we need to have a leader. a party the size of ODM cannot go without having a leader. And the first thing we asked ourselves, what would Baba have done? And we did what Baba did. When Baba was going to the African Union, he sat down. We had 3 deputy party leaders, but we opted to choose someone who was not amongst us. And at that day, please remind me the name of the hotel that we met in the morning. Agis, was it Agis? Agile Hotel, yes. We sat there. Some of the people, there was me, there was Gladys, there was Honorable Mishimboko, I think there was the whole delegate, the governing council, not the governing, the executive, the NEC was there. I remember seeing
Amisi, Sifuna.
Caleb,
no,
Sifuna was not there.
Sifuna was away. Amisi, Babu.
Yes. We had a quorum. Everyone was there. Yeah. And I proposed, I said, look, gentlemen, in the interest of maintaining this party, that this party needs to be able to have its strength so that we don't get outsiders who are going to try and demolish us from within. We need to have a father figure right now. And we need to have a leader. When I proposed Dr. Buru, literally every single person who was there raised their hands in support.
So it's your fault?
No.
It's your fault?
No. Let me tell you.
There was no democracy?
No. People were asked, is there anyone who's against? In fact, it is Gladys who called that meeting to order as the chairperson. She actually called that meeting to order and actually asked individually, is there any person who's against this?
So who's the boss between you and your party leader? Who's in charge?
The party leader is in charge. The party leader, Dr. Buru.
You're the chair?
Is in full charge.
You're the chair?
We take guidance from him.
This is the beauty of the party, by the way. We have structures. Yeah. The Central Committee.
Yeah.
These are things that you'll not be able to learn from other political parties. Learn from us so that we can be able to teach other Kenyans. You have the Central Committee, which is the epic body that has the party leader. Then from there, you have the National Executive, the NEC, which actually Gladys is the one who chairs, and she's been doing a good job. Congratulations, Gladys, so far. Then we have the National Governing Council. Then we have the Delegates Convention.
Yeah, but there's a question. You know, Jeff asked, have we tried to, have this negotiated democracy? Have we tried to negotiate with the rest of the team? We sat in our Central Committee meeting, chaired by Dr. Buru. We said these are the issues that divide us, and these are the issues that bring us together. Can we focus on the ones that unite us? And we read a long statement, Sifuna read it, which we said we're going to strengthen our party. We're going to remain strong in the broad-based government, and the party is going to make a decision with regards to our 2027 route at a later date. That was an agreed position. And we moved on with that. And when there were, fights, like people were insulting each other, the party leader called them and said, can we have some consensus around this? So effort has been made. I think, Jeff, where the problem came in was when the party makes a decision. Okay, 2 things for me. One, when the party made a decision on the issue of Dr. Buru, and the NGC that confirmed Dr. Buru was conducted by Edwin Sifuna in Mombasa. Conducted fully, wholly.
He was sworn in.
And the swearing in and everything.
Was it
he conducted
Governor
the whole
Orengo?
session. When he left, he was on national TV saying that Dr. Buru is illegitimately in office. So when you delegitimize the leader of an organization, then that organization has no way forward. Because once the leader, we should all say, as we are fighting, but when Jeff calls us, we will all come together if he is our leader. So when you delegitimize Jeff as the leader, that throws the whole organization into disarray. Secondly, when you're the mouthpiece of the party, it is important that you are able to speak the position of the party on behalf. So when you speak the exact opposite, then the position you hold becomes untenable. And many people said, why have you chased Sifuna from the party? The truth of the matter is we did not chase anybody from the party. We only said it is no longer tenable for you to speak on our behalf, because when we are going in direction X, you speak in direction Y. And many said, is it because he is opposing the president? Many asked that question that way. And we said, no. We could even be opposing the president and he's supporting. And if the party decides that we are opposing, our spokesperson must say we are opposing, even if he's supporting.
Is the president's hand in any of this?
None.
Huh?
None at all. It's convenient to say so because you want to drag everybody down, but I can tell you none.
Hand in what exactly?
But as Chinua Achebe once said, the center has not held. Things
the center is holding.
Have fallen apart.
Jeff will come back here 2 months, 3 months later. The center is holding. And you will see a strong, vibrant ODM across the country.
All right, lots and lots of feedback coming in thick and fast. Are you there?
Plenty, so let's begin. The first is from Lastborn, who says, Baba stated in his last interview he's supporting Ruto until 2027. He questioned the broad-based about spreading unauthorized narratives, asking who told them ODM would not field a candidate. Why can they respect Baba's wishes?
This speech, I was at Agile. I think Abdul wasn't there. I was at Agile when Baba made that speech. He made a long speech. He gave a context of why we were in the broad-based government. He made a context of how we were going to mold our future. And one of the things he said was spreading unauthorized. What does unauthorized mean? He said, let the party make a decision first on this matter. Don't say it before the party makes a decision. And the party organs are now making decisions as we move forward. Last Bonja Useng, that's the position.
Okay. And next is from Biraro, who says, I'm surprised that the two leaders who stood for truth have already learned the tactics of deception. When we can see clearly that the orange is split into Linda Mwananchi and Linda Ground, they are telling us it's not. Ask them to clearly tell us what the two factions stand for.
You know, Biraro reminds me, this is a true story, Gladys. I once when I was in school, and I was in a boarding school, so there was a preacher who came in and was giving a lecture, and a very, very, very long lecture, and then after it all, there was someone who was actually dozing off. And then someone literally woke up and asked something like, what exactly were you talking about? I think this is an old twit, because we've already stated what we stand for.
Okay, Mwalimu
Raphael. Okay, proceed.
As the governor, Kwani hawezi amua tu as ODM wasimamishe a presidential candidate instead of hiding behind UDA. Which party is bigger between ODM and UDA, and who should follow whom?
ODM is the largest party south of Sahara and north of the Limpopo, okay? And we are not hiding behind anyone. Yeah. What we are saying is we are preparing for the next election. And we have never gone, I want to remind them that there is no day ODM has gone into an election since 2013 outside of a coalition. In 2013, we were in CORD. In 2017, we were in NASA. In 2022, we were in Azimio. Sure. So in 2027, we will be in a coalition. And that's what we're preparing for.
Orutua says, I have been Jaramogi Odinga's follower, voter, then Odinga in ODM, and Wish has been electing an ODM candidate to be president, but not as supporting another party retain presidency. It seems party leaders have left us behind and moved to UDA. Next,
before you continue, it was still Baba who actually said he doesn't have to be president when he actually said that Kibaki tosha. Sometimes you look at the bigger picture.
He actually said that in passing. It was supposed to be Nyachai who was supposed to be selected, but, you know, that's a story for another day.
Jeff, are you an ODM member?
He has oranges.
Yeah.
Peter Mandela says, please ask ODM officials their opinion on ODM failing to field candidates in Western region in recent by-elections, which has been their stronghold.
What we did in this last by-election, we had some agreements as part of the broad-based team. So, for example, in Magarini, there was a UDA candidate who stepped down for ODM. In return, we stepped down our candidate or we didn't field a candidate in Malava. So it's a give and take. That's the game we played, and that's why the broad-based team won all the elections. So it was part of a negotiated position. Western remains ODM, and we will field candidates in the general election.
As ODM.
I want to assure Mandela we will field candidates as ODM in the next general election.
Steve Wardjen says, why is Gladys Wanga preempting what the delegates are going to do while at the same time claiming each and every member will be given an opportunity to have their say during the National Delegates Convention?
I don't know how I preempted. I just gave the agenda of the NDC. I said that we have two agendas. One is ratification or not, or and the coalition.
Papa Mark Makuda says, is the ODM Linda Mwananchi faction invited to the Friday's NDC? Hopefully, there will be no men in black. Sulisa Makuna.
So let me just say, I've never seen the Linda Mwananchi thing with any orange on it. I've never seen any ODM on it. I have never seen any orange color on it. So I believe they are referring to a vuguvugu maybe. But the ODM party, and the reason somebody was saying we were misleading them, the ODM party is just the ODM party.
Next one says, ask the governors, with the recent insults and name-calling among the so-called leaders and openly supported by both ODM and UDA party leaders, how will they encourage women and the youth to join the broad-based camp? Mind you, Tukokadi aims to rid Kenya of such leadership.
I think let me just be able to state this, and I said this earlier. The issue here is, when did the rain start hitting us? And you go back, I mean, there are people who go to the extent of using abusive, vulgar language in even places of worship. In even places of worship. I think you need to ask the two of us here if, you know, but at the same time, whether we need to be able to control the tempos, yes. But at the same time, there's the element of being human that is there. And I wish, these questions would have been raised when all these insults were starting way back.
And
maybe,
let me
just maybe, the fact that there's now a back and forth, maybe, just maybe, awareness is going to be created. That not one person has a monopoly of vulgar language.
Thank you.
And let me just encourage women and youth. You know, I think it's Machiavelli who said, you know, politics sometimes, you know, is not a smooth game like church. Okay. So let them be encouraged to come in, women and youth, and raise the standard, and we keep on going.
Okay.
Are we genuinely satisfied with the 10-point agenda?
Yes or no?
Yes. There's good progress, but there's still more that can be done.
Next is from Kemonica. Steve again. Ask the ODM duo why, in their wisdom, they deemed it wise to remove Sifuna from the post of SG, yet Raila himself could not do it despite having reservations on the broad-based government.
I think
this is before the reinstatement.
This question, I answered it already by saying that Sifuna, being the SG, was speaking in complete contradiction with what the party was progressing. It was untenable. It was an untenable position. When Baba was there, Baba held back Sifuna many times, and he respected. But for Dr. Buru, he has never restrained or held back at any point. When even Dr. Buru said, no, please, let's go this way. Dr. Buru himself, he said, was illegitimate.
Okay.
So that's the difference there. Not that we didn't have very, very serious discussions about these issues, even when Baba was there.
But Baba had a soft spot for Sifuna, didn't he?
Well, he had a soft spot for many. Many of us, all of us, actually.
I know he had a soft spot for me, without a doubt.
Yes, Jeff.
And maybe we're both Arsenal support.
Augustino Nyango says, let Gladys and Nasir admit they are there for their own selfish gain. That's why they say they want power. ODM has ever listened to the people. Do they want only ODM people were attending Maandamano? No, Gen Z wanauliza easy, I'm sure.
Sasa swali hapa ni
Unataka tu power.
They mean only ODM people.
You know, I think power should not be misconstrued. There is no political party that is formed
to be in the opposition.
Every political party is formed, Austin, to capture power. And this power is not for the leaders. This power is to make a difference in the lives of the people. When you run government, you can implement your manifesto and make a difference.
Yes, Jeff.
Carry on.
Oh, okay. Godfrey says, the "we need power" mantra reminds me of the prodigal son who unduly asked for his inheritance even when his father was still alive. Kindiki is the sitting deputy president, so vice president was under the old order, yet ODM is eyeing the same. Come on, who is fooling who here? Hypocrisy of the highest order. So there's a comment, so we move on. Papa says again. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure Oyugi Mwananchi will definitely challenge her former boss. That's your former deputy, right?
Yeah.
She knows it won't be a walk in the park.
It's never been a walk in the park for me, but I'll beat him hands down.
Why did he resign?
He always wanted to be governor.
Hey.
Because we ran against each other in the last election. So it was always just marking time. It was a matter of when, not if.
Chester Nyantika says, history will judge your duo panel guests harshly if and when they will sacrifice the ODM party at the altar of political convenience. It's not going to be business as usual for Gladys Wanga, Abdul Samad Sharif Nasir, and others in their respective political terrains.
Is that a comment? Or I don't think it's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. The logic lead says, Jeff, I believe the main issues with ODM, which informs the ideology of the Linda Mwananchi faction, lies with these questions. 1, why the rush to form a coalition with UDA? 2, they are quoting Baba left, right, and center. What did Baba say in his last public address?
I think, allow me just to be able to state this. The issue of why the rush to form a coalition, there's no rush to form a coalition. It's just that this is a party that has structures. And in the process of, and this is a party that has a constitution. For us to even consider and say that, yes, we want to be able to start having formal dialogue with UDA, we need to follow those structures. Otherwise, there's no difference between us and those who don't believe in structures. So after that has already been done, then the second thing that the party leader does is he sits down, he leads the conversation where his lieutenants, where he can be able to choose who he wants, and a decision is going to be able to be made as to what it is that is going to come to us. Thereafter, it comes back again. And then from there, it is going to be re-ratified again. So this is a party that has, it's formed on, it is not just, you can't just wake up in the morning and decide you're going to, Kongoya market or Gikomba market and decide you're going to buy a shirt or a bag of potatoes. We need to be able to follow procedures, and to do these procedures takes time.
Yes, Jeff.
Okay, MC Ruma said, my question to Governor Wanga and Governor Nasir, which ideologies do ODM and UDA share? What does UDA stand for? ODM has fought for devolution and freedom of expression. What has UDA fought for?
Actually,
absolutely nothing.
If you look at, no, he's wrong. If you look at the manifesto of UDA and look at the manifesto of ODM, Baba believed in Baba Care. It's come in a different way. I don't want to cause it as an issue of a conversation right now. It came in a different way. We've got Shah right now, which is the first time. It's the first time that a country is actually looking at carrying out public health. Public health, that means our level 2 and our level 3s to be catered for as a matter of universal health. That is only one. Baba believed in ensuring that we give money to the young people. The UDA government recently came up with the Nyota campaign. Okay. That was if I go through the manifesto of UDA and if I go through the manifesto of ODM, Baba as well believed in housing.
All right, please don't.
Let me just say something about devolution and the things we stand for. freedom of expression, the things we fought for, as MC Rumors said it earlier. Because of that 10-point agenda, we were able to, last year, increase devolution money from 380 to 405, and now to 450 billion this financial year. That's a big win for devolution. That's part of what the 10-point agenda has been able to achieve.
And by the way, one of the other things, which is actually the thing that holds the fabric of this country together, that level that everyone might come from a different tribe, might come from different ideologies, but at the same time, we're all Kenyans. This is something that the broad base has been able to be put into place. Now we've got cabinet secretaries from as far-flung areas that no one even imagined they would be having a cabinet secretary from some of those areas. Principal secretaries as well. There's some people, by the way, who call themselves the opposition today who really didn't want that.
Name them. Crispy says, ask the duo if the NDC will involve the Tuko Kadi movement by Gen Zs.
Tuko Kadi vinoma, sisi. We want our young people to have their voice. Make it hard.
And by the way, in Mombasa, we will be doing a voter registration. I actually encourage everyone. As government, we will be encouraging people to get their identity cards, thereafter get their voters' cards. At the end of the day, our role as political leaders, not necessarily as governors, but as deputy party leader, as chair, we need the principles of democracy to be able to thrive in this country.
Mbaya.
Omar Dennis says, Jeff, this was such a good panel today.
Finally, something positive.
I'm glad there is the D in ODM because democracy is noisy. On behalf of the youths and ODM members in Busia County, we thank the NEC for giving us the position of SG. We also pray that they formally ratify it on Friday. Next is... Next is Samuel, who says, when leaders choose collaboration over division, the real winners are the people. A broad-based government built on inclusivity can accelerate development. This is the kind of maturity our politics needs, putting Kenya first, always.
Always.
The one says, where was Oburu when Raila was being tear-gassed with Orengo during the fight for democracy?
Is that a question or a comment?
Where was Oburu?
It's a question.
He's always been there, by Raila's side.
We never saw him.
He's always been there. He may not have been on the streets, but he's always been Baba's advisor, Baba's confidant. He has supported the movement.
Mwanga says, Jeff, ask the duo who promised to send Baba to Bondo without knowing and how they feel about it, and why is Linda Ground's fixation with coalitions and what's driving it. Does it actually strengthen their hand at the negotiation table or expose their strategic fragility?
You want to take that? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, you know the way that they're saying that it is us who are fixated on coalitions? There are others who actually call people into their rallies, people who danced on Baba's graves.
Yeah.
How so?
In their rallies, come on. In their rallies, they've been calling people who, without a shadow of doubt, who some of them were literally, you know, when you come up and say that, lakini, you know, wacha sagodi aitwe sagodi, you know, because of someone's death, they actually thought that we were going to disseminate. Little did they know that Baba treated us as a seed. He planted us, watered us with knowledge. We got us stronger.
Okay, David says,
Sure. Dr. Oburu is on record specifically thanking Governor Abdul Swamad for proposing him as party leader. One, what was the rush and rationale behind this? And that couldn't even wait for Raila's body to arrive and have him buried as party leader because already Oburu was in charge.
If there was one decision that I made, a political decision that I made, by the way, we sat down, like-minded. The decision of actually me proposing Dr. Oburu to be our party leader, if there's a decision that I made, and I'm so happy with what has been going on right now, can you imagine if we didn't have someone that NEC actually proposed and actually said, yes, let's have a party leader. Can you imagine? Each and every single person would have woken up in the morning saying that they're the de facto party leader. Each and every single person. This is a party that has structures.
Here's the second question. What was the procedure of convening NEC and passing resolutions, and how was that done under 24 hours of Raila's death?
So let me say the NEC is convened by the chair, and for a loss such as that, it was important to convene the NEC to convey the condolences and to ensure that the NEC was appraised of the passing of the leader. And by the way, when we were in Baba's place, it was actually Sifuna who came to me and said, I have asked the ED that we call a NEC tomorrow. He's the one who asked me for us to do that.
Executive Director.
Yeah, Sifuna had talked to the Executive Director that we could convene the NEC. He told me as we were mourning there that please let's have a NEC to convey this formally to the party leadership. That's what we did.
Yeah. Question number 3 is, to those in Linda Ground, it is such illegalities that seem to fuel turmoil in ODM. Do you take responsibility for the current mess? Had you been patient, would the party be where it is now?
Which illegalities? There is absolutely nothing illegal about any of the steps we've taken. The party has acted in accordance to its constitution. And remember, Kenyans have permission to go to court when there are illegalities committed. We have had no cases.
Okay. Christian James says what?
Someone likes Abdul Samad's English and kindly ask him if the ODM party can give Babu Owino a chance to be the party leader.
But I think when we were at the hotel, when the proposition was done, he wasn't interested.
Oh.
He supported Oburu.
He supported Oburu.
With his hands up.
Okay, here's the thing though, Governor. You are the one who proposed Dr. Oburu, right?
Yes.
You are the deputy party leader.
Yes.
Were you not confident enough of being the acting party leader until you...
No, it is not an issue about being confident or not. I'm a student of Raila Amolo Odinga. And I'm so glad that when Raila Amolo Odinga, when he was going to Ethiopia for the African Union, he actually called us all in. Were there not 3 deputy party leaders when he called us in? We were all there. Was Gladys Wanga not there? She was there. Did we not have any other member that was there? We were all there. But in the spirit and the art of politics, there's some things that you set aside, and we listened to his wisdom. And what he told us under closed doors as to why you do what you do is something that I will hold on to myself, so I can pass to a future generation to do what we did. We're taking power.
Governors, we literally have a few minutes. I see Governor Wanga looking at her watch and saying it's close to midnight. You're not going to turn into a pumpkin or anything. So
I hope so.
Let's get some final thoughts. Governor Abdul Samad, you go first. Final thoughts.
I'm a student of Raila Amolo Odinga. Sometimes when you want to reach somewhere, at times it's better to be able to take a step back, analyze, see things through. And again, what I've also been taught is in the art of war, you don't necessarily have to be able to shed blood to win. Eventually, ODM is going to be the winner in this. Is it exciting for us to be able to behave like gladiators and we go to the Colosseum where blood is going to be shed? That is the way to be able to feed to the crowds. And that is what everyone else who call themselves the alternate opposition are doing. But what do we want? We want a better Kenya. And I think a better Kenya, ODM deserves to be part and parcel of being on the table, of negotiating for a better Kenya by being part of government. And eventually, we will be taking over government.
Governor Gladys Wanga, you get the last word.
Thank you, Jeff. And I want to thank all our viewers and just talk to our members and tell them we've been through a difficult path. We've had a rough patch with the loss of Baba. We are steadying the ship. Trust us to steady it together with you. We will move into next year, and we will move into forming government in the coming election, which is the intention of any political party. I just want to ask our members, especially in the grassroots, hold on there. Let's work hard. Let's work to retain our seats. Let's work to gain more seats. Let's work to solidify the party and keep the party as the largest party south of Sahara and north of the Limpopo. See you for the delegates. See you on Friday 27th for a successful NDC.
Someone says that they really like you, but they hope and pray that you're not a green snake in the grass.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. Na ule governor.
Nyoka wa kijani umekaa kwa nyasi.
Bas. Na governor kizungu mingi nayo we.
Hata mimi amenishtua. I'm sitting here looking like this, wondering.
And by the way, I went to public school. I studied in a public school.
Your father must have instilled a lot of discipline.
I studied in a public school. Yeah.
You went to Aga Khan.
No, I went to Lenana School. I studied in a public school.
Yeah. You did well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you so much.
Governor Abdul Somad Sharif.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
Good luck in your NDC.
Thank you.
And good luck going forward.
Asante.
And next time you come around, we'll see whether that orange, orange, is still solid.
You better not throw it.
And throw yours.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You.
Sawa.
The juggler. The juggler.
Can't do that.
Wait,
2 or 3.
Funny too.
Here we go.
Look at the art of oranges. Look at the art of oranges.
And thank you for being a part of JKL. Remember, if it's Wednesday, it's all about those 3 letters on the keyboard that follow each other. JKL. These guys are already packing up and leaving. I don't know why. I don't understand. Lakini sawa tu. Wacha mwendani tu. Sisi tuende sote.
It's midnight.
God bless you all.
Thank you so much.